So listen, I started watching wrestling again because I watched it as a kid, and then I have kids, and I started just as you were coming in to the WWE.
Yeah.
And it's been fantastic to watch.
Thank you.
You blossom.
I tried. I'm very happy. I'm very lucky. And I say all the time, I'm just in the right place at the right time a lot of times. So I'm very lucky.
And what do you think? What do you think specifically, though, when you say that?
I think that at the time that I, was hired with WWE was a time where they were hiring alternative-looking women, which I'm fortunate enough because that's
You mean you don't look like all these blondes from...
I absolutely don't. I don't know if you can tell, but I absolutely don't. And that wasn't changing anytime soon. So I'm very lucky to be, was hired at a time, when we were doing the Women's Evolution and everything like that. And then, when I was released from WWE, I was, fortunate enough to come into this amazing company of AEW when they were just starting to blossom. So, yeah, right place, right time.
So this weekend, you're here some? Are you wrestling some? What's the plan?
I'm not wrestling. I'm just here. I'm here today, tomorrow, and Saturday, just signing and meeting everybody. It's the first time that I've been to a WrestleCon since 2016.
Really?
Yep.
Did you go as an attendee back in 2016?
In 2016, no. I was here as an indie wrestler.
Right.
I wrestled on the actual shows themselves, and then sat at a table and didn't have a lot of people know who I was.
Her opponent in the corner to my left, from somewhere over the rainbow, weighing 130 pounds, the punk rock band of Heidi Lovelace.
Can we talk fashion a little bit?
Yes.
How often do we need to switch up the patches, like everything happening? It's a lot.
Yes, it is a lot. It is a lot. That's much like how my brain works is pretty much how you see the patches and everything like that. I have no real rhyme or reason. All of the ones are bands I listen to and everything. I have a few significant patches, two of which are my former Riot Squad members, Liv and Sarah. I have a patch with them. For both of them, so I can carry them with me when I go out to the ring.
Right.
So, but most of them are bands I listen to, and just the busier the better, honestly.
What if I told you that I'm old enough that I've seen the Ramones, I think 5 times?
I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of you.
As well you should be, because they're all fucking dead.
It's terrible.
It's a real bummer.
It's a shame.
It really is. Because they all died not that, but I just feel like I was in high school in the late 80s and they were still touring and...
So jealous of you. Was it awesome?
It was pretty awesome. I actually one of the Lollapaloozas, like them and Rancid were there. I'm pretty sure.
That's so cool.
You probably were maybe still too young.
Yeah, probably. I would say. I mean, Rancid's been around for a long time.
Right. So if you're not too tired of telling the story, can we talk about?
Yes.
Can we talk about?
It's my favorite story. I'm never tired.
All right, then let's talk about it.
I'm tired of this.
Okay, so you come in as Ruby Riott.
Yep.
And when you come in, is there you sit down at the table and they go, "We own your name, we own your ass"?
No, I mean, not really. I think it's just kind of like a given. It's part of the contract. They own your likeness. They own, how you present yourself and your name. When I first, debuted, but I chose Ruby Riott, and I chose it based off of the song, the name Ruby, based off the song Ruby Soho.
Right.
So when I was released,
but there's also a song called White Riot.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
the Clash song.
Yes, of course. But so when I was released, I wanted to keep the name Ruby. It fit me, but I obviously couldn't use Riot. So I wasn't going to do a lot of podcasts or any interviews or anything after I was released. I was going to take a reset, but Lars Fredrickson reached out to me and asked me to do his podcast.
Personally?
Yes. So I had emulated him at Elimination Chamber for a set of gear that I had, and I reached out to him, and we kind of became friends after that because I asked him if it was okay. And he reached out to me, asked me to do his podcast. And when Lars asks you to do his podcast, you do his podcast. You don't say no to that. And so I told him I was kind of in search of a name. I told him why I chose Ruby. And I was like, because I got it from the name Ruby Soho. And he was like, why don't you just use that?
That was going to be one of my suggestions. Why don't you just do Ruby Soho? I mean, I know the guy who can, I got a couple guys I know who can clear the music.
Yeah. Stop.
No, I mean,
you can't say that to me and have me not lose my mind right now. Like,
I swear to God, I could have that cleared, and then I can get on a group text right now and get you cleared in about 10 minutes.
It's a Zoom. I'm sinking in my seat. I'm like, oh my God.
Right, because it's not
God.
just the name, it's the rights to the song, which is going to follow
name.
you everywhere.
Yes. That's inherently why I think people think I'm as cool as I am, is just because of the song. I can't ever lose the song. I told him as soon as I debuted, I was like, thank you for allowing me to ride your coattails of coolness.
Right.
I really appreciate it.
I think you're pretty cool.
Thank you.
But is that why you feel like you need to like kind of sing it every time too?
It's just impossible for me not to. I genuinely can't help it. It's impossible for me not to. I tried to the first day I came out, and I tried to be like a cool guy, you know what I mean? Walking down the ramp, being a cool guy, not singing the song. And Bryan Danielson came up to me and was like, when you listen to that song in the car, like, do you sing it? And I'm like, all the time. And he was like, why don't you? And I was like, because I'm supposed to be a cool guy. He was like, no, all these people want to sing it with you, so sing the damn song. I was like, okay. And so ever since then, I absolutely did it.
Well, it's also like if Bryan Danielson makes a suggestion, maybe take it.
Yeah, always. He's kind of successful, so I would say it. I would say it. He's also my nemesis.
Your real nemesis?
My real nemesis.
Do you know what the word nemesis means?
Yes.
Do you know what nemesis means?
I do, and it's Bryan Danielson. He's my nemesis.
Does this mean he fucks with you a lot?
Yes.
That's his thing. I've learned.
Bully. He's a bully.
That's what I've learned.
He's a bully.
Paul White said he's a bully.
I told on him to his wife and to William Regal. I told on him and was just like, he's mean to me. He's mean, and she's like, feel free to be as mean to him as you possibly want. If you want to beat him up, you can. So I've been given permission.
Well, listen, thanks for doing this.
Of course.
And have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah.